Like I mentioned before, were you having maybe some challenges over the holidays, hearing folks in crowds and at restaurants and those kinds of things, whether you wear hearing aid and the background noise confusion or just in general? Well, we might have some answers for you with Advanced Ear Care. I want to welcome Stuart Spencer back to the program. Happy New Year.
Good morning, Michael. Happy New Year.
Yeah, great to have you. Before we get to that, though, happy anniversary. We're talking about 40 years this coming year, right? You're celebrating 40 years here in the community.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we are really excited. We've been here a long time. Gosh, I remember, way back when we started off, a little bitty office that we purchased where now the Nordstrom Rack is. Used to be a little strip mall there. And when we bought the office, it was like half real estate and half hearing aid office. It was really odd, So we moved out of there into the Willow Tree Shopping Center a few years later. That was like 86. And we've been right there ever since. And gosh, we're just really happy to be here supporting the community. We have thousands of patients, and we just really appreciate them, and they're just really happy to serve them.
So July 1984 was when you guys moved in.
July
there, right?
11th. That's right. 7/11.
Yeah. Wow. I think it was a summer, and I was going into my junior year of high school. I'm not trying to make you feel too old. That wasn't my point, but it was a while ago for me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, we're happy we've had so much success, and it's really been a great run for us.
Yeah, and you've been serving the residents. I mean, back then it was Leisure World back then. Being serving the residents of this community for a long, long time, right?
Yeah, I remember the first mayor, Brenda. Oh, I can't remember her last name, but they had the inauguration. The church right next to the Willow Tree Shopping Center there, and just hundreds of people packed in there. Kicking off, Laguna Woods Village.
Now, did you ever think to yourself, like back in '84, like this is going to be for a forever kind of a career for me? Could you imagine it was going to be what it became today?
For sure. We've purchased 3 or 4 other hearing aid offices that are around here and merged them into ours. And no, I didn't have that kind of vision that it would be this long. But I think the real critical thing has been just that we enjoy it. I really enjoy what I do, and our staff does, and we're good at it, and so that just kind of breeds success, and it's just been a real good combination of things for us. So we're here.
What would you say your biggest challenge has been over the years in terms of like struggle or like making these things work or getting to where you are today?
I just think that it's adapting, to customer care, meeting their needs,
right.
Adapting to new technologies, always staying a little bit ahead of the game,
right.
Having the right equipment, the right testing, the right, products, the right service, the right counseling. It's just a myriad of things that all come together to, make that whole momentum stay
Yeah, and that's the thing, as we get older, it's like, I don't want to have to learn anything new anymore. I'm tired of this. But for people in the worlds of technology, like myself and yourself, you don't get that option.
That's right. No, we learn every day. Literally every day, so it's very exciting, and it keeps it fresh.
Right.
And things are better, they keep getting better, and so people are more satisfied. Way back when, 40 years ago, people would put their hearing aids on, they were too loud, then they'd turn them down, then they couldn't hear.
The volume adjustment.
Then they'd turn them up and they were too loud, turn them down, they couldn't hear. They just threw them, in a drawer. It's like, today people put them on, wear them, and hear better everywhere. It's really powerful.
And we're talking about that technology. You have a new product, Intrigue product, and it's kind of helping with background noise, which I know is a big problem. I've been with people who like to take them out because the background noise is bothering them in a restaurant or in a big crowded party kind of thing.
Yeah, you talk about technology. We're really getting there. First time that we've been able to sit in noise. I wear hearing aids, and now I hardly even adjust them. They're so smart. They're looking at your soundscape, something ridiculous like 20,000 times a second.
Wow.
All the hearing aids talk to each other, seeing where sound comes from. But now with this new artificial intelligence feature in these products, it's identifying what is background noise and what isn't, and reclassifying that. So then, we can screen the noise out so they can hear the speech more clearly.
Okay.
We've waited for this for a long time. It's really, really exciting.
That's terrific. So, for a layperson, if you and I are talking right now, but there's maybe some chatter going on in the background, it can recognize the difference between the primary sound it should be hearing and then what just probably is background and not part of this conversation, right?
That's
Something
right.
Like that.
And that's what it's keeps. The algorithms keep getting better. Before it was just, it would recognize the noise and whoop, reduce the noise, but then you couldn't hear the speech,
Right.
right? You know, so now it's leaving that speech signal up, you know, while the noise goes down, and that's really the clever part of this whole thing.
And is this like maybe the last year or so, or last couple of years?
Well, it's always evolving. It's definitely the last 3 years. You know, now with this new Intrigue product, it's just the last month.
Okay.
You know, that this is just released, and it's been really effective. It's exciting.
Now, does it have a mother-in-law setting?
Yeah, oh yeah, and a wife. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that was, yeah. Send all your letters to Stuart Spencer in advance. So let's talk about troubleshooting just irregular hearing problems. So, like, we talked about the holidays, and I think sometimes that's when people start to recognize, I'm having some challenges here. When they're, you know, it's easy when you're just one-on-one at the house with people, but when you get to those big holiday parties and those kind of things, and you don't get to be part of the conversation anymore because it's just not resonating. Is that what some people maybe come in this time of year and say, hey, it's time for me to take a look here?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's a really insightful question, Michael, because people do notice it more during the holidays. You know, they're together with their families or groups or, you know, church or synagogue or, you know, whatever they may be. And, you know, you see, you know, the individual sitting over all alone, like watching TV, whatever it is here, and, you know, he wants to be here. Yeah. But they struggle in those kind of environments.
Why isn't Jim engaging? Why is there something wrong?
Yeah,
kind
so
of thing?
now we can help, you know, many of those people that were really struggling before. And the holidays are a big time. So we just went through those. So we see a big influx of inquiries. And, you know, we're able to help people a lot better, you know, and so many different things like remote accessories, you know, where we have remote mics, you can put it on a table, you know, and it really identifies, you know, 8 different microphones in it. And so it identifies what the primary source is and is able to really maximize, again, that signal to noise ratio so it benefits those people and their speech clarity.
So if I don't go to a regular annual ear doctor appointment. I don't think most people do, right? It's not something I think of as like a dentist or an eye doctor or something like that. When should people start kind of maybe thinking about, hey, I probably should just get a check? At what age would you say is the good time to say, this is the time of year, this is the time of life when this is going to start having a degradation? Yeah,
you know, there's kind of 2 different categories now. You know, before there was just one. You know, you hit about 60 or 65, you should have it checked every couple of years. You know, now teen hearing loss is way up, right?
Because the earbuds they're in.
You know, the longevity of how long they wear those and the volume levels. So, you know, I mean, I think 60, 65 is a general rule. You know, it's a pretty good time. Or, you know, when, you know, you just start, you know, wondering what people are saying.
Noticing that.
Yeah, and typically it's not the person that notices, it's their spouses or friends or family members. It's like, hey, Dad, you know, you're not hearing as well as you should be. And they would say, oh,
because
I hear
the other ones,
fine,
people are being stubborn, they don't want to admit it usually, probably. Like, I don't have, everything's fine, like you said.
That's right. But then they come in, you know, we help them hear better. It's like, oh my gosh, I should have done this a long time ago. Because once they hear the difference, they don't want to have it any other way.
It's like coming down the mountain, your ears pop. Oh, I can suddenly hear so much better.
Right, that's a good analogy, yes.
And hearing loss is just a natural part of life, right? Like anything with your eyes get a little, you get a little slower, and so it's nothing to be embarrassed about, right?
You know, not at all. And you know, I mean, today everybody's wearing something in their ears, right? An iPod, you know, a Bluetooth, you know, whatever it may be. You know, so nobody knows it's a hearing aid. You know, they just think it's another listening device.
Real quick, let's talk about the insurance you guys take before we head out. New insurance kicked in this month for most people.
You know, all the benefits reset, right? You know, January 1. So many people are eligible for new hearing aids under their plans, and they're not aware of it. And so we have a whole insurance department that takes care of that and just looks at the benefits, and we'll just tell them what they are and, you know, how they play into that. But we handle everything that's out there.
And if somebody bought something off the shelf and maybe they're not too happy with it, you guys maybe do tune-ups for them even if they didn't buy it from you?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we have people buying hearing aids everywhere today, you know, because of all the OTC stuff, you know, I mean, online, you know, over the counter, you know, wherever it may be. And we'll help them with anything they have. You know, we want to help them to hear better. So if they bring them in, we'll show them how to work, you know, the hearing aids better and how to operate them. Some of them are pretty brutal, you know, pretty, you know, 43 or 40-year-old technology in them. But that's okay. You know, we'll help them the best we can and show them how to hear better.
There we go. Maybe it's time for an upgrade. All right, Stuart Spencer, Advanced Ear Care. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Michael. Happy New Year.
All right, you're watching This Day. We'll be right back.